Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, fellow racers. You have to see this. Look at that. What on God's green earth? What's that? That is just the coolest thing. Look! I'm trying to get as many different angles of that as I possibly can. Watch this. I want to see if I can get it from the other vehicle's perspective. I've got to get it from the other vehicle's perspective. That is just weird. It just rises above and sits over to the other side. What is that? Oh, what is that? What is that? Watch this again. Oh my. That is just so cool. I gotta watch it again. I gotta watch it again. What is going on? I know where else that just happened. It's magic flying beetles. It just lifts up and goes over to the other side. I gotta watch it again. It just rises up and over. It engages the thrusters. It just lifts up and over. It's just magic beetles. Oh my goodness. That is just so crazy. What in the world was that? Look at that. I've got to go back first before I can capture that. That is just the weirdest thing. Here we go. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Let me see if I can capture this. Let me see if I can. Let's walk through this. Let's walk through this. What is going on here? It just looks up. And look at the Looney Tunes. The Looney Tunes is just like lowered to the ground like it's some kind, I don't know, it's just weird. How in the world did that happen like that? That is just crazy. Look at that. I really gotta try to get some more images of this. This is crazy. This is just crazy how that happened. I mean, man, I gotta see if I can go back and capture it. Hold on, I wanna get that one more time. See if I can get it right there and walk around this one again. Look at this. This is crazy. I don't even know what they call that. I think the Looney Tunes, the Looney Tunes were actually doing some sort of magic, and they were doing something loony and toony, which actually affected the 88 Coors Light Wilker Beetle, Kelly Paz Beetle that Wilker was driving. Because that is just crazy. That is just crazy. I'm not trying to shoot that, although I probably should. Magic flying beetles. I think I am going to go ahead and shoot that. I'm going to go ahead and shoot that. Make it. Oh, man. Don't need any effects. I'm going to shoot it just like that. I'm going to shoot it just like that. I'm going to save it. And the video may go out for a second while I think the video will go out for a second while I go for really quick and go put this in the while I go and put this in the scenes over here. I'm sorry, put this in the community. I gotta go share this. I absolutely have to go and share this. So the screen is going to go black for a second while I go put this in the communities. I got to put this in here. You can probably hear me saying it in the background because I just went to my live stream listening to myself. Come on. I just went to my live stream. Sorry, you could probably hear me in the background over talking myself, but now here I am. I got to put this in the, I got to put this here. Magic flying beetle. What in the matrix? What in the glitch in the matrix is going on? Wait a minute, hold on, what just happened? This beetle was being affected by the the Looney Tune beetle. All right, let me hurry up because this is taking too long. I'm going to get back to this because there's some other stuff I want to show in this particular video. So let me get back and get the stream back flowing. All right, let me get out of here. Ah, this is crazy. All right, let me get out of here. Ah, this is not going how I wanted to go. Still a little tired. Let me go back one more time. Oh, right. That is just so crazy. That is just so crazy. All right, let's get to moving. They finally move off. We were actually practicing here at the Willow Springs International Raceway on the Horse Thief Mile. So as you can see, Willow, I got a false start. Wilker, 88, got a good little runoff from the beginning. And there's really not much to see here. So I'm basically just going to go ahead and keep moving forward. He got a little loose there, you know, and I'm over off in the grass. But there's not really much to see here. But I mean, I guess you can make the argument there's a little bit here to see. I mean, the beetles, as you can see from the third person perspective, they're moving pretty fast around this track. And they're actually getting some pretty good speed. I mean, look at that. Look at that lean as he comes around the corner. On one of the first turns. Shoots up the hills, and I see the Ashley like they're grabbing a pretty good bit of speed there. I mean, you actually turn off. I mean, 70 miles per hour coming into that very sharp right-hander hairpin. Then coming around the corner, coming down the hill. I actually started to catch him a little bit. I think I was actually a little bit better on this track than Wilker was. But I'm going to go ahead and move a little forward, 10 more seconds, and try to show you some more. See, as you can see, this particular track, you get very, very, very loose. So this coming weekend, this is going to be a very interesting race because you can get loose very quickly here on this track. See, watch. As you can see, almost every time you come around the hairpins, it's amazing that in this little less powerful car, but with the balance of performance, you actually got about 98 horses that you can actually get as loose as that. And as you can see, oh, there we go. Okay, so there we go. First flight right here. Here we go. He got very, very loose and what? He went airborne right here. He went airborne right here. Here's your first airborne flying beetle right here. It was W. Hilker. He came out, and I'm just coming around the corner to observe. Look at him just floating in the air. Our first flight with W. Hilker and his beetle. Just floating around, all nice and crazy. Like, I think he got affected by the Looney Tunes beetle because he was temporarily phased with the Looney Tunes beetle because I think he got affected by it. And there's your first flying beetle right there, ladies and gentlemen. W. Ilker floating in the air because he went airborne. Oh, and then I got into him. It wasn't very pretty. It wasn't very pretty. As you can see, we can see that again. Nope, that's too far back. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that again. I can't believe I did that. Is this it? I went too far back. You see, he gets loose, comes around the first corner, and I think he. No, it's not this particular track. Maybe it was the. Let me see. Let me try again. I hit the wrong button. Let me see. Maybe it's this one. It's coming around. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one where he gets a little crazy. Oh, as you can see, we get a little crazy there. But we get started again. He makes his way up the hill, and I finally get myself out of the grass and get back going again and make my way up the hill. But as you can see, he's got a pretty good distance on me after I crash into him. And I can actually go back and see how that actually happened. And see, I was coming back behind him. As I'm coming around, he goes up that way, and I think what happened was I saw, as you can see, I saw him getting airborne, and I thought it was kind of cool. So I think I was trying to follow him. He went up and he got airborne. He got airborne, and I tried to go up there with him, and I crashed into him, unfortunately. And unfortunately, I crashed into him. But he got on his way, got back up the hill, and got back to doing his thing, and then I tried to make my way up there to catch him. Of course, as you can see, he's going on down the hill. So at this point, I think I'm trying to have some fun too. So this W Yorker coming down. He's basically just running the track now, because at the very first time he didn't try to do that. He was just trying to go around the track, and he got loose and just hit the corners. And then at this point, I'm just basically trying to catch him. And I eventually do walk him down. As you can see, he's coming around the track again. As you can see, he's a lot more stable when he comes to this corner this time. But that's what's going to be so much more interesting about this particular track when we put the 66 Beetles on it, because as you can see, these turns are, and this car moves a lot. It just wobbles all over it just pitches, rolls all over the place. So it's going to be very interesting to see it. But as you can see, at this particular point, we're pretty stable in our turns. And then as I'm coming down, Wilker, like I said, he's basically up. See, he gets loose again. He's basically trying to come around these turns and handle them pretty well. As you can see, my turns are a little bit more stable than his as I come around that particular turn. But he still gets loose as he's coming around. He still gets too much power going into the wheel with a lot of oversteer as he's coming through the corners. And my corners are a little bit more stable than his. And here I come behind him. I think maybe at this point we're on lap 4, and I don't think I try any of my shenanigans just yet. Because at this point I'm basically just trying to catch him. So I'm coming around the corner, and as you can see, I've gained a significant amount of time on him by this time. As he comes up and comes around that first hairpin, I eventually do get up behind him. As you can see, I've gained quite a bit of time on him coming down the hill. And then now at this point, I think I'm still behind him. At this point, I've caught him. As you can see, he still gets loose, but my turns are a little bit more stable than his. I go wide, and then I try to dip down and cut in on the inside of him, but as you can see, I even get loose. Now here we go, coming back down through the S's, the crazy turns where you can get crazy at this particular point, but like I say, at this particular point, we're still pretty stable. So I'm going ahead and move. As you can see, I finally caught up with him, and I took the inside line. Came in on him. As you can see, he's still getting loose there. As you can see, he's still getting loose there, but at this particular point, I take the inside line. He goes to the outside line, but as you can see, he still gets very, very loose, and he flicks his knife at the same time. But at this particular point, I'm way over the line, starting to go ahead of him. And then I come around and go down to the bottom and start to make that left-hander. He's right on me too. And for a minute there, as you can see, he almost clipped me. But we were actually beginning to, I think I basically started to kind of get a feel for the track. He was still struggling a little bit. He took that corner a little bit better. And you need to ask him in the future if he's using the wheel or if he's using the controller. But see, right there, I'm thinking if you're using the controller, you'll probably do that a whole lot more. Because I was using the controller too. I was on the controller as well. And as you can see, he's still keeping pace with me. And here we are, coming around. Here we are, coming around. And at this point, I think this is when, as you can there we go. Oh boy, there you go. There we go. At this point, you can see the shenanigans. I've started my shenanigans. And I just go off into launch mode. And start flying the Beetles. And as you can see, here comes Wilker. He basically followed me. He saw me. He just took off. We both just took off with me. Although I don't think he got as much air as I did. I don't think he got as much air as I did. Because he was basically just tossing all over the place. I mean, he followed me. He followed me, but he didn't get as much air. And you can't really see. He got a little bit of air, but he didn't get as much. His angle was he didn't catch the hill right, so he didn't get a really good launch. And at this point, let me see, where am I? I've got really good air. I mean, look at me. I got some really good air. I got really good air up here. Let me see. I think you can rise up and get up there. Oh boy. Let's get in there and look at the pilot. Let's get in there and see if we can take a look. Oh, that's too close. That's too close. See if we can take a look at the pilot as he's flying. No hands on the sticks. But yeah, I got some really good air at that particular point. Oh boy, I tell you, this was pretty fun. Let's see, who is this? That's me. And that's Ilka. Let me see if I can maybe roll them back again and see if maybe if I can. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to see if I can. Nah, I can't roll them forward. I want to try to see if I can roll them forward to see if I can get some better angles of his launches. But yeah, no, he didn't get a good angle. So let's get in this car with him as he follows me. I mean, I got a really good jump. I mean, as you can see, as he's following me, I got a really good jump. I'm going to pause it and go into slow motion and watch as we follow him. We get in his. I get a really good jump. I mean, look at this. I hit it just right because it just goes launching. Look at that. Look at that. But when you switch this to see these particular third-person view camera angles right here, they go off when you're trying to look at them. And as you can see, I mean, I basically almost clear the entire hill. As a matter of fact, no, I clear almost clear the entire hill. I land right there, and then I jump again, and I get some more air. I get some more air to get a second time, but by this point, Wilker has he hits wrong and turns the wrong way. But me, I'm landing, and at this particular point, I get more air, and I start to angle down. But as you can see, with the third-person view camera, you can't really see much. And I think if you go back to Wilker's view, he's turned the other direction, so you can't see me. but then you come down, but if I were to roll it back another 10 seconds and go forward again, hold on, 1, 2, 3. I basically just, I'll go back for, let me say, I basically just go sailing. I get a really good jump, and then I get another good jump right here once I hit, and then the front tires bounce, and then the momentum of the bounce hits the back tires, and I just get another launch and float, go sideways, then I come down, and I bounce up again. Oh, now you can see we can see Wilker in my rear view. I can't show rear view while you're in slow-mo. But anyway, I tell you, got some really good air. Let me go back one more time. Wilker's behind me. I come down that right-hander. I get a nice good angle, and I just go, whoop. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I was trying to hit the pause button, and I just launch it. It just gets good air. Just gets good air on there. It just gets the best launch. And as you can see, he saw me doing what I was doing, and he basically just followed me to try to do the same thing. But I just get that launch. And there you're flying Beetles, ladies and gentlemen. This video is running kind of long, so let me go ahead and close this, because I think I do a little bit more crazy stuff. Trying to do some more crazy stuff, and there's some pretty good angles there. Let me see. I think I want to. So I get some good air right here. As you can see, it keeps going. I land right here, and the momentum gets me pushed again, and then I go for another launch at this particular angle. I go for another launch at this particular angle. And I basically just hit the curve just right. I basically hit the curve just right to get that launch. To get that launch. All right, let me find the view that I'm looking for. That's the view I'm looking for. And then as I'm coming down, I hit the crevice just right. I hit that crevice. I land on that crevice just right in order to get another launch. This was just, I couldn't do this again even if I tried, but because of the way I hit this crevice just right. So as a result of hitting that crevice like that, go back out, I get another launch right there. And that puts me back in the air. Look, you can see how my suspension has compressed. You can see how my suspension has compressed, and I basically just get another launch. And there I go flying again. Look at being all loony in the Looney Tunes Beetle. And then, as you can see, Wilker, he didn't get the best kind of launch. He didn't get the best kind of launch. He's airborne, but not by much. He's not really getting in the air because of the way he hit it. The way he hit it threw his Beetle all off, But that very first one, he got some really good air. But it's just the way that I came off, and I got all that air right there. Got all that air. And it eventually leads to me being able to get this particular angle right here, which I took a picture of. And I call it trying to stick the landing, because look at it. This is coming down at this point. See, Wilker, like I said, he basically just didn't hit it right. So At this point, here I am coming down for the landing. And I did take a picture of it like this, basically just talking about how I was trying to stick the landing. But my goodness, it's got some pretty good air up here as we rise up and look at this. Look at that. My goodness, that is some pretty good air. And then when you go down, you lower the camera, you see we're basically at ground level now, so you effectively look up and look at that and say, my goodness, look at that. Flying Beetles, ladies and gentlemen. The Looney Tunes Flying Beetles. This was one strange race right here. This was one, and we weren't really racing. We were basically mostly just practicing because this is going to be the next track in round 2 coming this weekend. But there you go, Flying Beetle. Flying Beetle. Let me hurry up because this video is running kind of long. I go ahead and speed it up, and then we watch me as I stick the landing. At this point, Wilker is basically just driving up the hill, trying to come through. Because if I'm not mistaken, I actually think I turned off. And he just comes up the grass. And at this particular point, I'm doing all kinds of crazy stuff. See, I go up the hill, come back real quick, as you can see me. I decided to go just do some exploring and go see what's going on up here. As you can see that from Wilker's perspective as I come down, getting some hops as I came down the hill. You watch that again from Wilker's perspective. As he's coming up the hill watching me, I go up the hill, basically launching. I just wanted to see what would happen. And as I'm coming down, I get some pretty good speed there. And at this point, he's trying to catch me, I think. And at this point, I'm just having some fun. Oh, and the video ends right there. I don't know exactly how that happened, but the video. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the Flying Beetles. I mean, there was more happened, but the video got cut off, and I don't exactly know how that happened. But there you go, the Flying Beetles. This WRL podium. Just want to have a little fun showing that. And it's getting late. I got to get ready for bed, and I just want to throw that video on there too. So this is WRL podium signing off. Good night. Ending transmission.